On June 4th, 2024, footage was captured inside a public restroom where something genuinely unsettling unfolded. The man behind the camera goes by actual Loza, and just from the sound of his voice, it's clear he's rattled by whatever is happening around him. He confirms that the restroom is completely empty. No one else is there but him. What makes that so strange is that he had just heard sounds coming from one of the stalls, yet every single one he checked was vacant. Determined to document whatever was going on, he pulled out his phone and started recording, and this is what he got.
Estoy ahorita en el baño de la universidad, pero el pedo ahorita es que acabo de terminar de hacer el baño y pues estaba todo normal, pero ahorita están ruidos raros y se está tocando la puerta, pero quiero que vean que pues no hay nada. Vean, ahí está mi reflejo, pero vean de este lado, pues aquí no hay nada. Vean, acá tampoco, vean, aquí tampoco hay nada, aquí pues tampoco, vean. Y acá el lugar es bastante pequeño y está mi reflejo, pero a ver, uy, ¿escucharon? ¿Escucharon? No hay nada.
As though the banging sounds weren't already enough to set your nerves on edge, what we actually see is even worse. A face materializing inside a stall that had just been confirmed empty. It's over in an instant, but not so quickly that you can dismiss it. The truly chilling part is that Axel himself didn't even catch it in the moment. The young couple had just settled into their new apartment. The first several weeks passed without incident, but little by little, unsettling things began to occur throughout the unit. The lights would occasionally flicker with no
Lo rompebolas se pone cada vez que llegamos a la sesión. Nadie entra a este placar. Ustedes 20 veces se los he mostrado, creo. No hay chance de que alguien entre acá. ¿Cómo les gusta romper las bolas? Es increíble. Y estoy sola. No hay nadie. Miren. Literalmente no.
Explanation, and after dark, unexplained knocking sounds seemed to echo from inside the walls. Then, one evening, while the woman was alone in the
Y en la pieza, la cual estaba apagada, está las luces LED prendidas. Y no sé si alcanzan a ver esa silueta, sombra, no sé qué carajo es, pero hay alguien parado en la pieza. Y estamos literalmente nosotros dos acá. Miren, para que vean que de verdad no hay nadie, subimos lo más rápido que pudimos y no hay.
apartment, she heard a persistent series of knocks coming from somewhere near the closet. What unfolded next will send a chill down your spine. Hospitals carry a burden that other forgotten places simply don't. They're repositories of anguish, spaces where suffering has soaked into the very structure long after the last patient was taken away. Driver finds himself in a nerve-wracking situation.
ये क्या चीज़ है? अजीब सा मामला हुआ?
While making his way through a deserted forest road late at night.
ये क्या चीज़ है? अजीब सा मामला हुआ?
June 3rd, 2026, a woman named Elena recorded something on her property's CCTV that she simply cannot account for. She lives in a farmhouse out in a remote area, well away from any neighboring homes. One night, she and her husband were startled by a sudden loud bang coming from outside, so her husband headed out to investigate. But when Elena went back through the camera footage, she found something that stopped her cold. Up near the top of a tree, a faint glowing object can be seen shifting around, almost camouflaged against the branches. Look carefully and it actually seems to tuck itself behind the tree the moment her husband steps outside to look around. He came back in having noticed nothing out of the ordinary, but once Elena showed him what the camera had picked up, the two of them were left with far more questions than answers. So, what exactly is that thing? And could it be responsible for the bang that woke them up in the first place? Guy by the name of Daryl Saunders posted security footage from inside his house, desperate for answers about what he'd gone through. It was the middle of the afternoon, and he was sitting at his desk, going about his work like any other day. Everything in the room appeared completely ordinary and undisturbed. Then, out of nowhere, Daryl picked up on the sound of some hanging door flaps rustling nearby. The noise snapped his attention straight toward where the movement had come from, and here's what the camera caught. Initially, nothing looked wrong. Next clip comes from the account you can see here, which is run by a guy named Ken, an Uber driver who regularly posts dashcam footage online.
Passenger called Betty up from the Fort Lincoln Cemetery. So we are at a cemetery and we have a passenger to pick up.
I'm picking this person called Betty up.
And it's over there. And it's a cemetery.
And there's no one over here. So, we'll find out what's going on here.
I don't know if this is a good idea or not, but let's go find out what's going on over here. It's kind of it's kind of crazy.
Well, my app says I'm here. Let's try calling them again.
This Uber call is being recorded. Please leave your message.
So I ended up canceling the ride because there's nobody over here.
One particular day though, he ran into something that shook him to his core. Just like any other shift, a ride request came through on the app and the listed pickup location was Fort Lincoln Funeral Home and Cemetery. While Edward in Paramount, California were dealing with something out of the ordinary, one of his IVM security sensors began triggering, picking up motion outside the warehouse. Kat and several other employees hurried over to pull up the security camera footage, and here's what the cameras had recorded. Near the top of the frame, an unidentified figure seemed to materialize from nowhere, emerging from what looked like the shadows. This semi-transparent shape drifted from right to left before the footage abruptly ends. According to Kat, nobody should have been outside that warehouse at the time, and whatever you're looking at doesn't seem to be anything living. So I'll go ahead and let you draw your own conclusions on this one. What you're about to see is a woman mid-live stream at home when something deeply unsettling gets picked up on camera. She goes by the name Cello Loca.
Me quedara inmovilizada. Mira que se ahora hacen así.
Ahora se abre la puerta.
¿Dónde está la puerta? ¿Se ve la puerta?
Sí.
Ábrete, ábrete. Ábrete puerta. Ábrete puerta. Que se abra la puerta. Que se abra.
¡No! No es posible. No es posible.
Ay, tu madre, hija de puta. No me toquéis que estoy protegida, ¿eh? No me toquéis que estoy protegida. No me...
Creator well known for her tarot readings and
Delante del espejo, por favor. ¿Te puedes poner delante del espejo, por favor? ¿Estás enfadado? ¿Te puedes poner delante del espejo, por favor? ¿Te puedes poner delante? Venga, ponte delante del espejo. Te quiero ver. Dios, tu puta madre. No, puta, que me caigo.
Hostia, échalo, cuidado.
Hostia.
fortune-telling content. Couple stands motionless in their bedroom, completely frozen, staring at their closet door as it rattles and shakes. Not a gentle tremor, but a violent, relentless pounding, like whatever is on the other side has completely run out of patience, and it only gets worse.
Hun, what is that? Hey God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. These are the new closet doors, guys, the new closet doors that we just installed. Oh my God, okay. Nothing. Nothing in the closet. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Be careful.
Okay, no.
Okay, so clearly installing these doors, as you guys can see, we're still dealing with whatever is in our bedroom closet. I don't know, but I'm freaked right now.
Through the chaos, the woman manages to find her voice, shaky and barely under control. She points out that those closet doors were just put in a few days ago, brand new, which means warped wood, old hinges, a house settling with age. None of those go-to explanations even apply. Every rational exit gets blocked off before you can take a single step toward it. Then the man does something most people simply wouldn't have the nerve to do. He moves toward the door slowly and pulls it open. The shaking cuts off immediately, like someone threw a switch, and behind it, nothing. Clothes hanging in perfect order, shelves completely untouched, every inch of it exactly as it should be. When a paranormal investigation crew arrived at Whisper's estate, they chose to leave a camera running inside an unlit room while they moved on to explore a different part of the building. But once they sat down to review the footage, what they found left them deeply disturbed. The door swung open by itself, as though something on the other side had given it a push from within that darkened space. This one's a little unsettling. The person who posted this says his cousin died inside this very house just a few months back. On January 24th, 2025,
Vean la cámara sale y entra el infrarrojo. Vean eso, pero ustedes ahorita ven la luz, se ve muy rara, vean ahí. Ahorita les voy a mostrar a ustedes. Eso que se ve ahí es una esfera. Yo ahorita la estaba viendo, es una esfera. Pero ahorita les voy a mostrar ¿Quién trae en la mano esa esfera? Vean ustedes y vean cómo se desaparece. Vean lo que hace. Vean lo que hace. Vean lo que hacen y vean, se van y vean lo que se ve. Es increíble. Viene lo más bueno. Viene lo bueno, mi gente, vean. Vean lo que está ahí. Vean, esto que está aquí es un ojo. Y acá está el otro ojo. Vean, un ojo y el otro ojo. Vean eso. Vean esto que está aquí. Estos son los ojos. Ahora vean. Vean eso. ¿Lo ven? ¿Lo ven? Vean eso. Yo he estado viéndolo detenidamente y lo veo y no lo puedo creer. Vean eso. Ahora vean. Vean, ahí mueve la cabeza hacia abajo, vean. Vean.
A man from Villa Hermosa, Mexico, posted footage online that has had people scratching their heads ever since. 2016, urban explorer Dan Bell made a solo nighttime return to an abandoned children's asylum.
Nothing's moved. Somebody really wanted to get out.
He had previously documented a structure so deeply disturbing he had once described it as a place straight out of nightmares.
Damn, somebody really wanted to get out. Look at those carvings up there. There's a stairwell that I didn't know about. I'm gonna stick to the main stairwell. Why did someone take that open like that? goes down really far.
This time he entered under the cover of darkness,
Horrible.
keeping his light dim to avoid alerting residents in the neighboring houses.
Man, this is tough. Why are all these doors shut like this? Somebody went in and locked all the doors. But not just like the door, like they had keys, they locked the deadbolts.
Who might catch a glow moving through the windows.
Oh my god, this is so bad. Oh. Why couldn't I have been a painter? I could be in a nice art studio, putting stuff on a canvas. Look at this. Definitely a child did this.
He passed through the same rooms he had filmed on his earlier visit and
There's the stained glass window.
confirmed that nothing had been disturbed or shifted since then.
These notes that make no sense. And drawings. This room is just filled with garbage. There is so much written on this.
But the doors were a different matter entirely. Every single one had been shut, deadbolted, and locked from the outside.
Oh my god.
As though someone had deliberately intended to trap something or keep something out. April 26, 2023, during a live broadcast on his YouTube channel, Terror al Extremo, a content creator named Luis.
Ahí está. Ábrale.
No soy funcionario de esto. Ay, me cayó todo malo. Y borraché, me perdí cuando me fui. Quedamos por acá. Y me hicieron de quedando. ¿Dónde estamos?
Found himself caught up in a bizarre encounter that still has no clear explanation. The stream carried the title Creepy Story. An elderly man asked me for a ride through a cemetery. While traveling through an isolated stretch of road nowhere near any towns or populated areas, Luis noticed a figure standing alone on the empty roadside. The individual appeared to be an older man, visibly confused and completely disoriented. His condition immediately drew the concern of everyone watching the stream, hanging out in the living room with a few family members when he decided to pull out one of his prized collections.
Grabando a mi papá con su colección de llaveros que le han regalado de diferentes partes. Cuando notamos algo muy raro, uno de ellos empezó a moverse solo, no había aire y estaba cerrado, no lo podíamos creer.
¿Qué? Pero tiene como media hora, chingado mono, que se mueve.
ahora que no deja de moverse el llavero ese.
His keychains. Over the years, he'd picked up souvenirs from all kinds of places across the globe, and each one had its own little story attached to it. This next story is about a night. A woman named Jazelle Duran, and it ends with her bolting out of her own apartment in the dead of night. When people first stumbled onto this footage, the reaction was almost universally the same: confusion. Jazelle was sobbing, not a little teary-eyed, but completely falling apart. The kind of breakdown that makes you stop mid-scroll and actually lean in. In the months leading up to this moment, Jazelle had been quietly posting clips from her home security camera, mostly footage of her living room, but woven through those uploads is a pattern.
Obviamente no me voy a levantar a ver qué es, pero tengo miedo, estoy temblando del miedo. Si pasa... ¡Eh! No mames. No mames. Creo que hay alguien atrás de la puerta. O algo. Tengo miedo. Tengo miedo. No me será mi imaginación, no miré mal. Pero salí corriendo de ahí porque ya no puedo. Ya no puedo. Ya no sé qué hacer. Son las 4 de la mañana. Pero sé que había algo ahí, sé que miré algo y no estoy loca. No estoy loca. Tengo que entrar a trabajar al rato y no he dormido nada. Estoy nerviosa,
And once you see it all laid out together, it becomes very difficult to ignore. What you're about to see is genuinely disturbing. It all began in late March 2026. Eric, a father who had taken his son out for a deer hunt on private property they had...
Hey man, who are you?
Who the hell are y'all?
Eric, and this is my son. We're about to go down here and hunt. Do you have permission to hunt here?
Yep.
From who?
Landowner.
Who's the landowner?
He's up by the road, I think.
Get the landowner.
Yes, that was his name. Yeah.
So gave you permission?
Yep.
He's told me, last time I talked to him, he said he's not going to give any permission to anyone other than me and my son.
I guess he told you wrong.
Okay, then I'll call him.
Hey, why are you filming me?
He can film whoever he wants. Hey, stay back, man, because we don't know you. You don't know us. We're just trying to go to our stand.
Every legal right to be on knew something wasn't right almost immediately. Another man was already there, and he was carrying a firearm. Eric approached him to find out what was going on.
Have you given permission to this somebody to come out here and hunt besides me and my son? Just a guy in a camo jacket, blue jeans, boots, got a gun. He's not even wearing orange. Okay, man. You do not have permission to hunt here. Who? Do you live around here?
I'm going to my truck.
Where's your truck?
I don't trust you.
Well, we dang sure don't trust you because you're not allowed to hunt here.
I just wanted to have a day of deer hunting.
And besides, the road's not even that way. How did you get into this property?
The damn road is over there.
I don't know what road you're talking about.
I'm getting away from y'all.
You're acting like we're the issue, dude. You're hunting property where you're not supposed to be. You're trespassing.
And the situation deteriorated fast. The stranger insisted he too had been given permission by the landowner, but Eric wasn't buying it. He'd never been told about any other hunters being authorized on that land. He got the landowner on the phone right then and there, and the answer couldn't have been more straightforward. Puzzling clip comes from security camera footage captured by a resident of Salt Wells. Mother was unwinding on the couch after a grueling day, flipping through a book while her son sat close by, absorbed in a video game. On the surface, it seemed like any other quiet evening at home. Nothing out of place, nothing alarming. Just a family settling in for the night. But then, something in the corner of the room catches the eye. Something about the bookshelf feels off, frozen in a way that makes it seem like the camera has locked onto the
Alright. What? Looks like they're about to have a... What was I doing? You getting this money? You got what? Is that what I want?
split second right before everything goes wrong. Keep your eyes on that shelf in the corner, because a small doll perched on top of it appears to shift ever so slightly, despite nothing visibly making contact with it. Then, just a few seconds later, a book launches itself off the shelf and hits the floor with a loud crash. The sound immediately throws the mother into a panic. The following video was recorded at night, inside a bedroom, by a woman who had just noticed something moving in the bunk bed directly above her. She's lying on the bottom bunk when she first spots it. Something black, shifting in the dark just above her head, close enough that she can hear it. She doesn't know what it is yet. That alone is enough to make your skin crawl. Watch. Clinging to the edge of a blanket draped over the top bunk is a small, black, and very much alive creature, shifting its wings and tucking and untucking its head while she holds the camera as steadily as she can manage. When she finally speaks to the camera afterward, she's still shaking, eye twitching, voice trembling, saying she felt her heart in her throat the whole time. For centuries, bats have occupied a strange place in folklore around the world. In some traditions, they are viewed as symbols of transformation, hidden knowledge, or messages from the unseen. In others, particularly in older European superstitions, finding a bat unexpectedly inside a home was considered an omen, a sign that something unusual was about to happen. Most of those beliefs have no basis in reality, but they persist because encounters like this feel inherently unsettling. Her husband eventually got the bat out, but she admits she still doesn't know how it got in. No open windows, no explanation. And if it found its way in once, there's nothing stopping it from finding its way in again. The following video was recorded inside a family home late at night, at a time when everyone should have been settling down for bed. The house is quiet, the lights are low, and nothing appears out of place. According to the family, they were preparing to sleep when the father noticed something that instantly made him stop in his tracks. At first, he wasn't even sure what he was looking at. Then, he realized there was someone, or something, standing in the doorway. Watch.
Padre Santo, Señor. Dios Todopoderoso, ven, señores. Vean. Esta silueta, amigos, está muy fuerte. Tranquilo, campeón, tranquilo. Padre nuestro que estás en el cielo, santificado sea tu nombre, señores. Esto es un niño. Diablos. Santificado sea tu nombre. Venga a nosotros tu reino. Vean mi hijo. Aquí está mi hijo conmigo. Tranquilo, campeón. Sí está muy fuerte, sí está muy fuerte. ¿Qué quieres? ¿Quién eres? Padre Santo, señores. Déjanos en paz. Tranquilo, campeón, tranquilo, 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 campeón. Ahí quédate, quédate. Ahí quédate, campeón. Es un niño, amigos, es un niño. Vean, 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 vean. Vean. Se le ve el rostro, amigos, nunca se le ve el rostro. Voy a abrir muy rápido, señores. Lárgate de aquí. La sangre de Cristo tiene poder. La sangre de Cristo tiene poder. Padre nuestro que estás en el cielo, santificado sea tu nombre. Dios Todopoderoso, ayúdanos. ¿Qué es esto? Padre nuestro que estás en el cielo, santificado sea tu nombre. Venga a nosotros tu reino, hágase tu voluntad, así en la tierra como en el cielo. ¿Qué es esto, señores? ¿Qué es esto? No tiene explicación. ¿Qué es esto? Ya no puedo estar ni en mi casa. Ya no puedo estar ni en mi casa, señores, a gusto.
The figure doesn't run, doesn't step forward, doesn't retreat. For nearly a minute and a half, it simply stands there, and somehow that stillness makes the clip even more disturbing. Some viewers immediately called this a shadow person, a term used online and in paranormal communities to describe dark humanoid forms that appear solid but seem to lack the physical substance of a real person, often reported standing in doorways or at the edges of rooms. Others think this is something closer to a residual haunting, a presence that doesn't interact but simply occupies a space, repeating the same position night after night without purpose or awareness. The boy's reaction is hard to ignore either way, because children are often described as more sensitive to presences that adults dismiss, and that alone is unsettling. Another terrifying incident happened on a different night, and this time his wife was there to witness it too, meaning he didn't have to deal with the familiar response of being told he was overreacting or imagining things. Watch.
Es allá adentro, Es allá adentro. No. No mames, güey. Viste, cabrón. No mames.
No manches.
No mames, güey. No mames. No mames. No mames, güey. ¿Qué pedo, güey? ¿Escuchaste, güey? No mames, cabrón. No digas mamadas, güey.
At the top of the stairs, a tall black silhouette stands perfectly still on the landing. No features, no clothing details, just a solid dark shape in the shape of a person. When the camera moves up the stairs to get closer, the landing is empty. Nothing is there. For viewers who follow cases like this one, an entity that vanishes between the moment it's spotted and the moment someone reaches where it stood is one of the harder details to explain away. And for this family, it's not looking like an isolated night. Whatever is in that house seems comfortable enough to stand in the open, and that's what makes the footage so difficult to sit with. Before we head back in, one quick thing. All of our videos are now on Spotify, so if that's where you tend to be late at night, every compilation we've made is sitting there waiting for you. Watch it however you'd rather watch it. The link's in the bio. Now, back to the video. In this next clip, a man filming at night had apparently been sharing something unusual with his followers. A leather-bound journal written in 2008 that he claims belonged to someone who actually lived in his house. Watch.
Cats knocked the journal off the counter. I hope they didn't mess it up. Some of y'all in the comments are saying the same thing people always say. Oh, this journal's brand new. You just bought it yesterday. I don't know what to tell you. It's not brand new. I don't know, can you see some of the discoloration? Does that look brand new to you? I'm not saying this thing is from 1876, all right? Yeah, there's discoloration from a price tag. Okay, so what? This journal was written in 2008. If you read the contents of the journal, you'll know. More specifically, the dude who wrote this journal lived in this house up to 2008. I did not order this thing off Amazon. I did not order this thing off Temu. I've never bought anything off Temu in my life. Just keep on thinking what you want to think. I don't care. It's fine. Whatever. If this journal is about 18 years old, like how decrepit do you think it's supposed to look? Like, what are you talking about? None of you know what you're talking about anyway. You have no clue what you're talking about.
What kicks things off is a loud, abrupt thump heard over the security camera footage of his kitchen, and then the journal is on the floor. He insists his cats knocked it off the counter, but viewers weren't buying it, and he spends the rest of the clip defending the journal's authenticity, pointing to discoloration and worn edges as proof it's genuinely aged. Some in the comments remain convinced it's staged. Others think a journal written by a former resident of the same house is exactly the kind of object that tends to attract something. You decide. Now, in this next clip set, a home security camera captures what appears to be a quiet living room in the middle of the night, around 23:40 on August 30th of 2022. With no one present, just a furnished room, a small white ball resting on the carpet, and two large vintage porcelain dolls seated side by side on a small white wooden chair in the corner. The dolls are the kind that have always made people uneasy. The frilly dresses, the painted faces, the way they sit completely still and seem to stare at nothing. And for a while, the room does exactly what an empty room should do. Nothing. Watch. The ball moves first, rolling several inches to the left with no visible cause, no draft, no vibration. Then, the doll on the left tilts, the chair rocks slightly, and finally, at around the 55-second mark, the doll pitches violently forward off the chair and lands face down on the carpet. Not a gentle tumble, but a sudden forceful throw. The other doll doesn't move. The rest of the room stays completely still. Some viewers immediately pointed to the dolls themselves, noting that objects associated with children, especially antique or porcelain ones, are frequently reported in cases of poltergeist activity, a term referring to a type of disturbance characterized by physical manipulation of objects, often building from small movements toward more dramatic ones. Others focused on the sequence. The ball moved first, then the doll shifted, then the chair rocked, almost as though something was working its way across the room. What was it building toward? The second clip was captured by another static security camera, this time inside a bathroom at around 21:51 on July 1st of 2022, and it's completely silent. Nothing dramatic announces what's about to happen. Listen closely. The bathroom door, which starts the clip ajar, begins to swing slowly and steadily inward on its own, smooth, continuous, deliberate, until nearly a minute and a half later, it has opened to almost 90 degrees, fully revealing the hallway beyond. No one enters. Nothing else in the room moves. The absence of any sound makes it harder to dismiss, not easier, because there's no creak, no gust, no settling of the house to blame. A door moving that slowly and that consistently for that long doesn't behave like a door caught in a draft. Some think it points to what's often described as an intelligent presence, something that interacts with its environment with apparent purpose rather than leaving behind random disturbances. Others argue it's residual energy, the idea that certain spaces absorb patterns of movement and replay them without awareness. Both explanations leave the same question hanging. What was on the other side of that door? The third clip has audio, and that changes things. A woman films herself approaching a white interior door at night. It slowly swings shut on its own and latches with an audible click. Then, as she approaches again, the doorknob turns and the door swings back open. And in that exact moment, a sharp, distinct hissing sound cuts through the silence. Watch.
Guys, I just hit the record button. I'm in the laundry room. And I'm hearing something. Oh my god. What was that? Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Oh my god. Showing behind the door this time. There is nobody in this bathroom. There is nobody. Last time this door closed, everyone was like, there's somebody behind the door. There's nobody in here. It's just me. There's nobody. And I heard something just as I was hitting record, and one of my ornaments is on the floor here. One of his arms is broken off. My cross is sideways on the wall. And my camera just went really blurry, guys. Oh my god. Oh my god. I don't know if there's something on the lens. It's really cold down here. Hello?
The door moves, the hiss hits, and the woman investigates the bathroom beyond. Dim lighting, a curved glass shower stall, a wooden vanity. She finds a small rubber toy lizard on the floor, picks it up, shows it to the camera. Whether it means anything or is just a strange detail in a strange night is unclear, but the hissing sound is the part that holds attention because it arrives with the door movement, not after it, almost like a response. Some viewers familiar with accounts of poltergeist or inhuman entity activity noted that sounds accompanying physical disturbances, especially sharp, breathy ones, are sometimes interpreted as a form of communication or a warning. Others pointed out that air pressure changes caused by a door moving could theoretically produce a similar noise. The last clip returns to the same bathroom and the same woman, this time filming from the hallway side with its yellow painted walls. Again, the bathroom door begins to close on its own, slow, smooth, steady, and she pushes it back open with her hand and walks in to investigate. Watch.
Okay guys, I'm in the laundry room, doing laundry. Got my clothes here folded. I'm hearing noises and I know it's coming from the bathroom. It was like a thump, like a thumping sound. Holy shit, oh my god. Holy shit. Holy shit, holy shit, holy shit. Holy shit. Holy shit, holy shit. Oh shit. Holy shit, holy shit. Holy shit. Hello? Okay, I'm done.
After she exits and the camera settles on the open bathroom doorway, a small, bright, orb-like object darts rapidly across the top of the shower enclosure from left to right, visible for less than a second before vanishing. Orbs in paranormal footage are endlessly debated. Skeptics almost always point to dust, insects, or lens artifacts, and that's a reasonable starting point. But the speed and brightness of this one gave a lot of viewers pause, especially paired with everything else caught in that same space on that same night. Doors moving in both directions, a hissing sound with no source, and something fast crossing the room. If you take it all together, the pattern is harder to write off than any single event on its own. And whatever's operating in that house, it doesn't seem to be staying in one room, and it doesn't seem to be done. The following video was captured by a group of ghost hunters who decided to explore an abandoned house after several reports suggested something dark was attached to the property. From the moment they stepped inside, they described the atmosphere as heavy, tense, and almost hostile. The kind of place where silence doesn't feel empty, but watchful. Believing the presence to be malevolent, they began praying, hoping to protect themselves and possibly force whatever was there to reveal itself. But according to many paranormal beliefs, prayer doesn't always bring peace. Some say it agitates negative entities, almost like shining a light on something that wants to stay hidden. Watch what happens next.
Bun. Ești sigur? Da. Hai, uite acum zic. Ia. Cred în bunul Dumnezeu, Tatăl Întoțitorul, Făcătorul cerului și al pământului.
Oprește-te, oprește! Băi, Alin, uite alea cum fac bilile toate trei.
Știu unde am rămas.
Ea nu va pleca.
Da, știu când va pleca. Tatăl al tot țiitorului, Făcătorul cerului și al pământului, care pretutindeni ai și pe toate le împlinești, vistierul bunătăților și dătătorule de viață, vino și ne slăzășluiește întru noi și ne cu toată închinăciunea. Băi, nebunilor, băi!
Fai de capul meu!
Ce s-o spart? Nu s-o spart nimic. Cum să spargă ceva?
Frate, nimic nu.
Doamne ferește. Dar ce să spargă?
Hai de capul meu!
Dar nu se vede.
Mi-e frică, nu mai fă, frate, că murim.
Păi da, bine că s-o auzi spart, dar nu-i spart nimic. Deci vă asigur eu că nu-i spart nimic. Ce să fie spart?
Dau ard aici că mâini, că nu e jali, băi.
Viewers believe this reaction suggests the presence felt threatened, not comforted by the prayers. Others argue that prayer can act as a form of confrontation, drawing attention from entities that feed on fear or resistance. Whatever the case, the timing is hard to ignore. But until we get more updates about this house, this remains unsolved. Now, in the following videos, a man and his family are convinced they're living with a ghost. In fact, they've gone as far as giving it a name, Ghost Malone, a playful nod to Post Malone, because according to them, the presence feels calm, relaxed, and non-threatening. They say things move around their house almost every night, especially toys, but insist it has never tried to hurt them. Still, many viewers can't help but ask the same question. How long does a spirit stay harmless? Take a look at what a typical night in their home looks like.
It's 3:30 in the morning. I swear on my life. For freaking toy cars. Oh, you have got to be kidding me. No. No, sir. No, ma'am. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know whether to wake Elizabeth or somebody call Justin Nunley or an exorcist. I mean, I'm not scared, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't shaking. So I'm just gonna leave it there till the morning for Elizabeth to come play with it. And it's not electronical, y'all. There ain't no damn motor in that thing. I feel so weird and out of place right now. I don't know if it's still there. To be truthful, I'm thinking about just leaving Elizabeth in Revelation and going somewhere for the night. I don't know what to do. Let's check on her. You still there? Pirates of the Caribbean's getting good. I'm not scared. I'm just kind of freaked out because, like, it's friendly. Hasn't thrown it.
What immediately stands out is the toy car. It has no batteries, no electrical components, and yet it moves on its own. Some viewers tried to brush it off as coincidence, uneven flooring, or leftover momentum, but those explanations quickly fall apart when you realize this isn't a one-time event, and it's not just one toy. Similar things have happened repeatedly, and after seeing this clip, many people weren't convinced that whatever was in the house was truly harmless. Some believe genuinely good spirits are rare, and when they do exist, they don't usually interact directly with the living. Concerned viewers suggested the father try certain cleansing methods to see how the presence would react, a way to test whether the entity was truly peaceful or simply pretending. So the next morning, he followed some of those suggestions. Watch what happened.
I actually fell asleep, and this is what I woke up to. Elizabeth. Baby. Hey.
Goodbye.
Okay, no, for real, like, so what are we doing? Oh. Okay. Are you... Somebody said salt. Hold on.
I don't know if you're supposed to draw a circle around it.
Well, it's a half circle, but I don't think you're supposed to do anything else. I don't know. Y'all got suggestions, let me know.
Instead of focusing on the fact that the holy water, salt, and prayers didn't seem to drive anything away, viewers noticed something far more disturbing. If you look closely at the doorway, you can see what appears to be a small, childlike figure standing completely still. That single detail sent chills through the comment section, but that raised another unsettling question. Why did the cleansing attempt seem to have little to no effect? Well, things escalated beyond toys. Watch this.
Are you there? Yeah, I thought so. Okay. Well, that's one of the things that I've discovered.
Whenever the house goes quiet, all he has to do is ask, "Are you there?" And something moves in response. At that point, many viewers said it could no longer be coincidence. But what troubled people even more was the interaction itself. A lot of paranormal believers warn that acknowledging a spirit gives it energy. Others say responding invites it closer, strengthens its presence, or even allows attachment. Despite all of that, the family continues living as normal, still convinced it isn't dangerous. One night, they didn't only check if it was there, they tried to communicate with it. Watch closely.
So we are all sitting here, enjoying our Taco Bell, right? And Ghost Malone was over there shaking the door a second ago. Ghost Malone, if you are still around, do something.
It was a sign.
Oh, Okay. Okay. Nonchalant. Alright, so ironically, I'm watching Ghostbusters, right? Ghost Malone. Ghosty. Yo. Are you kidding? Alright, so I've been asking Ghost Malone some questions. Okay, so 1 time if you're there, 2 times, or I guess no times if you're not. Definitely there, okay. Are you friendly? Okay, okay. Do you like Ghostbusters? No? Okay, do you like movies? Okay, okay. And just on Ghostbusters, I guess it's insulting. Are you here to cause harm? Okay. Okay. And I wish I knew Morse code. We'd try that. Are you an older spirit? Okay, but not a bad spirit. Okay. Is there more than one of you? Okay.
Many believe dark entities don't reveal their true nature immediately. Instead, they appear calm, friendly, even playful. A tactic often compared to the Annabelle doll, which was first believed to be harmless before far darker activity followed. Because of this, viewers are increasingly convinced that whatever this entity is, it may be growing stronger, not kinder. People urge the family to stop interacting, cleanse the home thoroughly, and protect themselves before things escalated further. But none of the things happening bothers them. Take a look.
So, a couple weird things have happened tonight. Like my mom's painting over there has moved. Ghosty. Ghost Malone. You there? Don't judge the trash. It's trash day. Ghosty. Okay. Maxie, what was that? Huh? So we're sitting here. Revelation here, is it?
Hi, Maxie.
It should also be noted that we've had several offers from paranormal people to come here and whatnot. We're down, but there's been a few of them that are private profiles, minus the big ones you guys have suggested. Nobody's reached out, but I don't know. I might take offers for people to just come stay the night so you can see whether it's real or not for yourself. I don't know. But yeah, I am gonna take a list of questions. I've been writing down in the comments all the questions you guys have for Ghost Malone. And then we're going to do the Stranger Things light or dog button things to see if that does anything.
This time, even the dog reacts. As the playpen moves, the dog retreats into its cage, a response many believe animals only show when they sense something threatening. According to viewers, a presence strong enough to move objects, frighten a dog, and respond intelligently isn't something to take lightly. Some believe this entity was never harmless, just patient. But until the family shares more updates, all anyone can do is hope the situation doesn't turn dangerous. Now, in this next video, a guy who goes by the username Mosh moved to Appalachia, and according to him, he hasn't had a single peaceful moment since. Appalachia is one of those places people constantly warn you about. Dense forests, winding back roads, long stretches with no cell service, and generations of folklore that all seem to agree on one thing. If something calls out to you out there, you don't answer. Many believe the land itself holds onto things that don't like being disturbed. Mosh has been documenting his experiences both inside his home and outside, and in several of his earlier videos, paranormal investigators and longtime viewers suggested he might be dealing with what are often called jokester spirits, entities that don't immediately harm you, but thrive on fear, confusion, and reaction. They mimic sounds, footsteps, and voices just enough to make you question your sanity. One night, while walking, Mosh suddenly got the overwhelming feeling that something was following him. Not just a sound, but a presence, staying just out of sight. Trusting his instincts, he checked the camera he installed in the house and saw this. Watch. After reviewing the footage, many viewers say this explains a lot. The unexplained footsteps, the whispers he's heard when no one is around, and that constant sense of being watched. Some believe whatever this is has been testing boundaries, slowly revealing itself once it realized Mosh was paying attention. Others think it's feeding off his fear, waiting for the moment he reacts or responds. So, what do you see in this video? And more importantly, what do you think has been following him this whole time? The following video is shared by a man who had previously documented how everything in his apartment changed the moment he brought home a set of old toys. Almost immediately, the space felt different. Knocking sounds began echoing through the walls, objects shifted on their own, and at times the presence felt so overwhelming that he would lock himself in another room out of fear. But this next video unsettles viewers for a different reason. This time, none of the dolls or toys are visible anywhere in the apartment, and yet, the activity continues. Watch closely.
Son las 2 de la mañana, se están escuchando ruidos en la sala. Está moviendo la silla, raza. La madre. Escucho algo acá, raza. Tumbaron el desodorante. ¿Qué estará pasando, anda? Madre.
Whatever is disturbing this apartment hasn't left with the objects themselves. Many believe spirits don't always stay attached to the item that brought them in. Some think the toys may have acted as a doorway, something that allowed an entity to anchor itself to the space rather than the objects. Others argue this could be residual energy, replaying moments of disturbance long after the source is removed. But there's also a darker theory, that removing the items only angered whatever was invited in. But what do you think? Now in this next clip, the popular Midwest ghost hunter Ian investigates the Mabel Tainter Memorial Theater, a location widely considered one of the most haunted places in Wisconsin. The theater was commissioned in 1889 by Captain Andrew Tainter and his wife Bertha in honor of their late daughter Mabel Tainter, who tragically died at just 19 years old. In life, Mabel was deeply passionate about music and the arts, and because of that, no expense was spared in the theater's design. From its grand architecture to its detailed interior, the building was meant to preserve her spirit and legacy. While exploring the theater late at night, Ian begins taking photographs inside the theater room when he suddenly hears a loud bang echo through the building. Tracing the noise, Ian follows it to an office once used by Reverend Henry Maxson. Watch closely.
That's his old chalkboard right there. And that is his handwriting.
They've kept that preserved. That must have been from his last lecture, before dying. Father, if you are indeed in here, could you tap on your chalkboard? Make a tapping sound like you're writing on it. I would be amazed if you did that. What the? That sounded like paper being moved. It was on this desk. Like, whoa, you see that? Dude, look at that. That has to be it. Look at that, it's literally hanging off of the table.
Maxon wasn't just any figure connected to this place. He was the Unitarian pastor who originally convinced Andrew and Bertha Tainter to build the memorial for Mabel. When the building officially opened in 1890, it served not only as a theater, but also as a community center and the permanent home of the Unitarian Society of Menomonee. Maxon himself gave the presentation address at the building's dedication, and for years, Sunday services were held directly on the theater's stage, with Maxon preaching to the congregation. Before leaving the office, Ian decides to set his camera down, leaving it recording as he steps away. What happens next is unsettling. Did Ian manage to capture the ghost of Reverend Henry Maxton still sitting at his desk, tied to the theater he once served? For more haunting videos including Ian, subscribe to the channel now. The following video was captured by a Ring camera inside a home. At the time, the homeowners were simply feeding their cat, and didn't notice anything strange while it was happening. It wasn't until later, when they reviewed the footage, that they realized something else had been there with them the entire time. Watch closely.
Buddy.
At first glance, many people were quick to say it was just a reflection. But before you settle on that explanation, here's what the garage looks like during the day. There's no window there, and no reflective surface that would explain it. The empty space you see is exactly where the car was parked in the original video, and the red circle marks the exact spot where the unidentified figure appeared. Some viewers believe it might be a residual presence, briefly replaying an energy tied to the house rather than actively interacting with the environment. A few people pointed out the cat's behavior as well, and of course, skeptics argue it could still be a lighting anomaly or camera glitch, even without a visible source. The homeowners say they've never experienced anything like this before, but now that they've seen it, they can't stop wondering, was this a one-time glitch caught at the perfect moment? Or something that's been there all along, only now revealing itself? What do you think? Now, in this next video, a woman named Jennifer owns a beautiful, historic home that dates all the way back to 1907, filled with antique pieces that go as far back as 1903. But not long after moving in, Jennifer began experiencing things she couldn't explain. and things that steadily became harder to ignore. Soft footsteps when no one else was home, faint whispering that seemed to come from empty rooms, objects shifting ever so slightly when she wasn't looking, and shadows, not quick tricks of the light, but lingering shapes that felt intentional. Concerned, she eventually reached out to several mediums, all of whom told her the same thing. They sensed children in the house. One evening, when the noises became louder and more persistent, Jennifer decided to pull out her phone and start recording, hoping to finally figure out what was causing it. Take a look.
Okay, I'm upstairs and the cracking was just me standing here. However, did you hear the sound after that? Because I'm a little freaked out. Because of course I'm home alone. And I'm scared. I'm gonna sit here and listen. See what I get. I just saw an orb. I saw an orb in the dining room across where the mediums have seen the children. And per usual, here's my sidekick making sure I'm okay. The innkeeper. Magnolia. I feel like I'm hearing like a faint music being played. And do you see that? Maybe it's just the shining from the lights. Just seems like something's in there right now. Walk down and see. Oh my God, what was that? Okay, I'm going over here. That was a big noise. That could not have been from the cat. She's still sitting there. Look at the mist around her right now, and she's looking. Oh boy.
What makes this even more unsettling is what Jennifer later discovered. After speaking with a local historian, she learned that when the house was built, there were no nearby hospitals, and it's believed that at least 4 people died inside the home. Deaths that likely occurred under stressful, emotional circumstances, the kind many believe can leave a lasting imprint on a place. Whether this footage captured lingering memories, restless spirits, or something far more aware, one thing is clear. Jennifer's home isn't just holding antiques from the past. It may be holding on to the past itself. The following video comes from another haunted home. This one owned by a woman named Lauren, who says the activity inside her house has been escalating for quite some time. Before this night, Lauren had already shared multiple unsettling incidents. She's discovered footprints appearing in the house that don't match the size or shape of anyone who lives there. She's seen figures moving at the edge of her vision, heard voices when she was completely alone, and watched objects shift or move without being touched. Each event on its own might be easy to brush off, but together they paint a much darker picture. One night, just as Lauren was about to go to bed, she began hearing whispering, so she reached for her phone and started recording. Listen closely.
That? What was that? Yeah, what was that, Teddy? Yeah, let's go down. Okay.
Lauren was making a video to record the voice she heard. Instead, her camera caught a figure. Some viewers believe this could be intelligent haunting, where whatever is present is aware of Lauren and actively trying to make itself known. Others suggest the entity may be tied to the house itself, revealing itself more clearly as Lauren becomes more aware of its presence. But until Lauren shares more updates or captures clearer evidence, this case remains unresolved. Now, in this next video, a man captures something that's far from ordinary, and what happens afterward is even more unsettling. Watch closely.
Leave. Stop. You gotta go. Shh, 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 shh. Calm down. What are you? Stop. Charlie, come on. I don't even know how to explain what I'm seeing. Holy hell. No, this is crazy. Did you hear this last night? Yeah. It was going last night. Now, did you... Charlie, come here. I guarantee it's going to keep on. It'll do it again. So, I don't know if you're going to see what I'm seeing. But... this is on repeat. This happens over and over. And then the knocking happens. The knocking. There it is. And it just goes and goes until you tell it to stop. Can you stop, please? I mean, it's just right there. That's new. Okay. Whatever you are, you gotta go. Man, that's... yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Goodbye. Yes? Hello? What is that? Who are you? I'm not gonna hurt you. Leave my lights alone.
In the footage, you can clearly see hands pressed flat against the glass, and then they simply vanish. But what made this situation truly disturbing wasn't just the clip itself, it was what the man shared afterward. He says he began experiencing that overwhelming sensation many people describe, the feeling that someone is standing just behind you, close enough to feel, but never close enough to see. He'd wake up in the morning to find his closet door wide open, even though he knew it had been shut before going to bed. And worse, the same set of handprints he saw on the glass outside now appeared on his mirror, pressed deep, as if someone had been standing inside the room, watching him while he slept. He keeps seeing a figure dressed in black, always briefly, always just out of reach, never long enough to fully make out its face. So what do you think he's dealing with? And if those hands weren't human, whose were they? This one remains deeply unsettling. In this next video, a couple experiences something strange inside their home, and this time their security camera captured it. Have a look.
Someone told the boss that we've got a new car, and he's pulled up next to me. And he's come into the office and he is flustered. He's gone like, oh, he's thrown everything, right? No. Love you too.
Anyway, you were saying?
No, we don't. That's not how this works. No. I don't want to carry on with this story anymore.
He's like, yes, it is.
No. See you later.
In the footage, one of the kitchen drawers slides open on its own, even though no one is standing anywhere near it. What immediately stood out to viewers wasn't just the movement, it was the woman's reaction. According to her, this isn't even close to the worst thing she's seen in that house. She later explained that drawers opening on their own has become almost normal. There have been nights when she's heard footsteps pacing through the hallway, even though everyone in the house was already in bed. Sometimes she hears what sounds like someone quietly moving things around in the kitchen, only to walk in and find everything exactly where it should be, except for one item that's clearly been disturbed. According to her, whatever's in the house doesn't feel aggressive. If anything, she believes it might be a spirit looking for attention without actually causing harm. That belief is the only reason she doesn't think much about moments like this anymore. But others aren't so convinced. So the question is this really just a harmless ghost trying to be noticed? You decide. The following video is an update from Nate, the same man who's been documenting something repeatedly peeking out from his basement, along with a voice that's almost always whispering in his recordings. One night, Nate noticed his dog acting strangely. The dog began pacing, whining, and repeatedly looking toward the kitchen, clearly trying to alert him that something wasn't right. Nate brushed it off at first, until the dog suddenly ran out of the kitchen and went straight to the couch, where it froze, staring toward the kitchen, refusing to move. Watch closely.
Watching over at that spot. What'd you see? What is it? Tell Daddy. What'd you see? Where is it? Guys, always trust your guts. She got to like right here. Nothing in here. She is like following something. I don't know what she's following. Alright, I'm not sure what that was. No fucking way. No fucking way. I do not want you here. You are not allowed here.
Animals don't second guess what they sense, and dogs especially don't react like this without a reason. What happens next is what truly changes the tone of this entire situation. Up until now, whatever Nate has been dealing with mostly stayed subtle, whispering voices, peeking movements, objects shifting slightly. Because of that, many people believed it was a woman's spirit, especially given the soft whispering heard in earlier clips. Some thought she was trapped, confused, maybe even trying to ask for help or find peace. But this time, it crossed a line. A knife was thrown, and that single moment made people rethink everything. A spirit trying to communicate doesn't usually escalate to weapons, so is this still the spirit of a woman trying to pass on, or was that narrative wrong from the beginning? I'll leave you to be the judge. Now in this next clip, popular Midwest ghost hunter Ian returns to what many locals consider the most haunted house in Minnesota, the infamous Boyd House. This is a place already known for some truly disturbing claims, dolls that seem to move on their own, unexplained footsteps, and the sound of children giggling when no one else is there. But this time, as Ian enters the house, it's unusually quiet. No noises, no movement, but the silence didn't last long. Watch closely.
Holy dude, something just came towards me.
What the heck was that? Hello? Oh my gosh. Who's there? I just heard like footsteps, like heavy footsteps coming like right towards me just now, coming from the parlor here. And what's even weirder is I felt like a cold breeze like rushing towards me. I don't know if you could somehow hear it or something.
That single moment was enough to convince Ian that whatever had been dormant inside the Boyd house was no longer resting. The Boyd house was built back in 1901 and served as the longtime home of Freddie Hart, his wife Minnie, and 11 children. Now Ian needed to know who was with him.
Minnie, is that you? Are you in the kitchen right now? Those are just my creaky footsteps. Minnie, if you were up here, could you? Whoa, 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 whoa! Dude, what the heck? That light just turned on! It just turned on by itself! Oh my gosh. Dude, she is in there.
Just like previous tenants have described, cabinets began opening, and moments later, a light turned on by itself. At that point, Ian felt confident this wasn't random. The behavior matched the reports almost perfectly. If the stories are true, Minnie's spirit doesn't hide. She rearranges, interacts, and makes her presence known. For more haunting videos, subscribe to the channel now. In the following clip, a family went to check out an apartment they were considering renting. But within minutes of stepping inside, something happened that none of them could explain. Watch this.
Oh my god. Yeah, I'm scared of that. That's why I walked it.
Bubby, you stay with us.
I'm going down. Who's
Ooh, it's purple.
You want this room, Sally?
It's Harry Potter theme.
Asides the fact that an unidentified voice suddenly whispered Jadis, viewers quickly pointed out something else that seems far more disturbing. There's a particular corner of the house that gave almost everyone watching the same unsettling feeling. It's the kind of spot that looks normal at first, but the longer you stare at it, the heavier it feels. Some viewers claim they could see faint, human-shaped figures shifting in the shadows. Others said that even through a screen, the corner looked wrong, almost like someone, or something, was standing there quietly, waiting for them to step closer. And then there's the little boy. The moment he said he was scared, a lot of people took that seriously, not because he sounded dramatic or confused, but because children are known to be extremely sensitive to things adults can't perceive. So between the mysterious voice calling out a name, the strange corner that unsettled so many viewers, and the child's immediate reaction, many believe the family got all the signs they needed. Whether they listened or not, though, that's something everyone is still waiting to know. In this next clip, a family who had been dealing with several nights of unexplained knocking finally made the mistake that so many paranormal experts warn people about. They opened the door. They didn't see anyone there, no footsteps, no cars parked outside, but ever since that moment, their normal days have looked nothing like normal. Watch this. First, you see the chair rocking, as if something was sitting there and deliberately trying to be noticed. But the moment the man reached out to stop it, something else in the room reacted, like whatever was inside that house was saying, if you stop me here, I'll just move somewhere else. And this is the exact pattern people online pointed out. Every time they try to interfere with one activity, another one starts up right behind them. It's like the presence in that house is trying to show dominance over the entire space. And judging by how effortlessly these objects move, and how quickly the activity escalates, whatever this is, it doesn't seem ready to leave anytime soon. On March 8th, 2023, Casey Lee was home with her family when her son suddenly ran out of the hallway, trying to get his dad's attention. He kept pointing, insisting that his father had to come see something. Watch.
This snack will go international. International. That looks good though, dude. We gotta try that. Alright, start this video. Break the ice. We're gonna break the rice. Slow down, some of the rice. Oh, no, that's sick. That was insane. Boy, that's amazing. Wow. Dude. Okay, let's go. That's amazing. That feels so trippy too. Oh, doing crunches. Yeah. Down to oil. But I can't grab all these. I'm doing it. What? Oh, yeah. That's so satisfying. Yeah, that is. Like, a ghost. A ghost? That looks amazing. Where? That took. Fuck that shit. Look at who? What ghost? What's that? Go get him. No.
What does the ghost look like?
What's that?
Like that? Where is he?
In there.
And where?
In there.
Here?
Uh-huh.
Further? Is he here? In front of me? Over there? Where? Which way?
In there.
In that room?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going in there.
Why go see?
No, I don't know. You do whatever you want, bud. Want me to turn the light on in the hallway? Huh? There's no ghost in there? Not anymore because the light's on? Someone's over there? It's a ghost? Is it a nice ghost? Friendly ghost? Oh, do what? Am I fighting it? Fight it?
Come here. Go.
I think we're good. Is it a big ghost or a little ghost?
Big ghost.
A big ghost?
Yeah.
Is it a boy ghost or a girl ghost?
Big ghost.
Big ghost.
In there. We're almost there.
The boy was way too focused for them not to take him seriously, and according to Casey, this isn't the first time he's claimed to see something that no one else noticed at first. One example she gave was from a few months earlier, when he told her there was someone sitting by the shoe rack. They brushed it off as imagination, until the motion-activated light by the rack flicked on by itself, followed by the sound of something shifting across the tiles, exactly where he had pointed. After that moment, they learned to stop doubting him so quickly, which is why this latest incident is starting to bother them more than they expected. Casey says that the very next day after this clip was recorded, both of their dogs started barking ferociously at the same corner of the house, right at the end of the hallway where her son kept staring. Whatever her son saw, the animals definitely sensed it too, but until Casey shares more updates, this case remains completely unsolved. Now, in this next clip, TJ has recently adopted a deep fascination for haunted dolls, and over the past year, she's slowly built an entire collection, each doll with its own energy, history, and personality. Every now and then, she documents her new life living with these dolls, and although many people follow her page out of curiosity, most didn't expect her newest update to be this unsettling. Watch.
What's going on down there?
This clip quickly caught the attention of other collectors who started asking, how long did it take for her dolls to get comfortable enough to do this? They explained that many of their dolls stay completely silent for months, sometimes years, and that the quiet ones often make them the most nervous, because spirits that stay still for too long usually do so while observing the environment, adjusting, and waiting. To answer everyone's question, TJ gave a detailed response. Honestly, over a year. I had to really build a close relationship with them to get the activity I'm getting now. It was definitely not always this high. Things only started picking up when they felt like they knew me well. Her comment opened up another wave of debates. For now though, TJ insists she's comfortable with her dolls and isn't afraid, but viewers can't help but wonder if that's because she truly feels safe, or because whatever's attached to those dolls has already settled in more deeply than she realizes. In the following video, we have a man who claims he lives in a haunted house. And after months of documenting the activity, viewers finally trace the cause back to an African mask hanging in his home. But like most people who have already grown attached to something they own, he's been in complete denial. Friends have told him to get rid of it, viewers have begged him, but he always brushed it off, until things escalated way beyond the point of coincidence. Watch. First, it was a single loud bang. Then the wind chime swayed, and seconds later, the cupboard door slammed shut on its own. Everything seemed connected, almost as if something was moving through the house in a straight line, starting with the bang, triggering the chime, and ending with the kitchen cupboard. But what really convinced viewers that this has nothing to do with the house and everything to do with the mask was what happened next. Because the activity didn't stop at harmless noise, it grew aggressive. Watch this. The knife flew off and almost landed directly on his leg. And that wasn't the only incident. He's been waking up at 2 or 3 a.m. to scratching sounds on the walls, footsteps pacing around his bed, and sudden drops in temperature that make the room feel freezing cold. People in the comments use this as the final push to warn him again. It's the mask, take it down, remove it from your home before something even more dangerous happens. And after everything he's experienced, especially now that he's getting hurt, hopefully this time he finally believes them. Now, in this next clip, we're looking at one of the most unsettling situations a young family has ever had to deal with. For weeks, they've been reporting strange disturbances happening only at night. Small things at first. Toys turning themselves on, footsteps in the hallway when everyone was asleep, and the baby monitor picking up faint whispers that definitely weren't coming from the parents. But recently, something changed, and whatever's happening now seems to be focused on their daughter. Every night, right after they put her to bed, she does the strangest thing. Watch this. You can hear the little girl, who is supposed to be fast asleep by this time, suddenly laughing in this almost diabolical, unsettling tone. And the way she stares, her eyes reflecting the infrared light like she's locked onto something none of us can see. That alone had viewers saying this doesn't look like normal sleep behavior at all. Some parents in the comments said this reminded them of episodes their kids had during extreme night terrors, but others are convinced this goes way beyond that. Now the parents are completely torn. They're not sure if they should call a priest, bring in a paranormal team, or just pack up and leave the house entirely. But with how quickly these episodes are escalating, doing nothing doesn't seem like an option anymore. What do you think they should do? Because whatever this is, it definitely isn't normal.